So I've been using this K70. It's the RGB version and it's the Rapidfire edition for about a year now, maybe a little over a year. And I'm convinced it's the best keyboard I've ever used. So everybody knows in 2018, if you don't have RGB, what are you doing with your computer setup or your gaming setup? I mean, it's kind of one of them things where everybody's starting to ease into and to pick up stuff here and there on their way. And I've had this thing and I love it. The RGB is awesome on it. You can fully set it up to however you want to use it. I mean, it's really cool. So this K70 Rapidfire has all kinds of features that I was looking for. Number one being having the USB pass-through on the back of the keyboard. Having one right there at your fingertips whenever you need it is really convenient, and I kind of got spoiled on the last keyboard that I had. Another thing is I wanted to be kind of sturdy. I didn't want to be able to pick the keyboard up and flex it. This thing's built out of like a brushed aluminum metal, and it's really heavy duty, and I like that. Another thing that I was looking for is I wanted the keyboard to be 10 keyless, which means you can press 10 keys at one time and it'll register every single keystroke. It's really good for gaming, and that's what I used to do with this computer a lot, is play video games, and being able to hit all different buttons at the same time and the computer be able to pick that up and be able to implement it is a must on gaming like that. It's kind of a feature that you have to be able to, you know, succeed or to have a fair advantage to other people. So that is one cool feature that it has. This keyboard comes with a key switch that is new to this genre, and it's called the Cherry MX Speed Switches. Now this is a regular Cherry MX switch that is actually pretty quiet. Having this speed version takes the actuation point down to 1.2 millimeters compared to an average switch having 2 millimeters. So you're getting almost twice as fast of a reaction time when you press the key than you would with a regular Cherry MX. So that is really cool, and it gives you that little bit of a slight edge when playing games to people who have just a regular keyboard. If you hit the key at the same time, it will register your keystroke first. So that is a cool feature for gamers, and that's honestly what this keyboard is meant for, is for gamers. But it has really cool features that, you know, just regular computer users might like to have. Another thing that it has is backlighting. Everybody loves being able to see your keys late at night. If your monitor is so far away or it is not very bright, it won't light up your keys, and having a backlighting really helps. In my opinion, I think it's a must. And having RGB is just even better. You can change it to however many colors or whatever scheme you want. You can even adjust the colors on each individual key. So if I want the WASD to be red and everything else green, I can do that. It'll just look like Christmas. Going right along with the backlighting on the keyboard is there's a master key on the keyboard for it. So there's a physical button on the keyboard that allows you to adjust the brightness of the backlighting. You don't have to go into the software to actually turn it off. So that is cool and makes it a lot easier. Right beside that, you've got your Windows lock key, which turns off your Windows button. So playing games, you don't hit your Windows on accident and pop out the game. So that is really common amongst gaming keyboards now. This keyboard has basically everything, so you would expect that. Then right beside that, you've got your dedicated audio. Now this is probably the second most important thing, first being the USB pass-through, and second is having dedicated audio controls. I love music, I love messing with music, I love making music, I actually can play guitar, so having these dedicated buttons makes it super easy for me to just roll the volume back, or if I'm listening to like Pandora or Spotify or anything, want to pause the music, I can just hit the pause button, hit the stop button, hit the next button to switch songs, all from the keyboard. So easy. You don't have to find your mouse and go to the right spot to click everywhere. It's on the keyboard and it's freaking fantastic. I love it. Number 3 on my list of things that I was really wanting to have is I wanted to have a wrist rest included with the keyboard. This one is detachable. Obviously they all are detachable, or most of them in this line of quality keyboards will be detachable. Now some of your Walmart keyboards and cheap wireless ones will be fixed. It has a rubbery feel to it and it's kind of grainy, so it feels really good on the wrist. And to go along with the wrist rest included, on the back of the keyboard you've got pins you can pull out on the top and the bottom, so you can elevate the entire keyboard if you was to want to do so. So that is really cool. Moving on to the keycaps, it's the same original shape as the other K70 keyboards released. This one just having different keys up under the actual shell of it. So this is a faster key than the other Cherry MXs. Some cool things dedicated to the gamer side of things is the space bar and your movement keys. They all have a textured, kind of like a diamond plate feel to it. So no matter where your hand goes on the keyboard, it can easily find its way back to those keys just by getting used to the feel of them. So that is That is cool. This keyboard has 2 sets of keycaps included that you can change out for each other. One, it has WASD for first-person shooters, so you can change your keycaps and have the diamond plate on those. Or you can change it to a MOBA designed where you get the QW, ER, D, and F are all aluminum plated. So no matter which style of gaming you're into, you're covered on the keycaps for your left hand as far as being able to move to them by the feel of them. And the space bar stays that diamond plate. As you would expect from a keyboard of this quality, it comes with a braided cable, and it's a long cable. I believe it's somewhat 6 or 7 foot, but it's braided and it's really thick. Now the thickness kind of gets on my nerves. Sometimes it's so thick that it won't really flatten out and go straight. It's all wavy and heavy duty. I don't really like that, but I understand why it's like that, because you've got 2 USB connections on the end of the computer. So you've got one directly for the keyboard. The other one is for the USB pass-through. So this keyboard actually has 2 USBs to power it. Really nice that it's braided though. This thing will hold up forever, and I like it. I just wish it was a little bit thinner. Right beside where the braided cable goes into the back of the keyboard, there's also a mode selection dial. And I believe it has 3 or 4 slots on it where you can set up different profiles for your keyboard. So say you wanted, red and green over here on this profile 1, then I can switch over to profile 2 on the back of the keyboard and have a whole different scenario programmed, along with all the ones you program on the software. So I have my plus button cycling through my colors and my different schemes. Now I can set that to that little switch on the back too. So that is cool if you want to have different, schemes and different lighting scenarios set up. So just to give you some final thoughts on the keyboard, I love this thing. It's made sturdy. The keycaps are awesome and quick. If you're gaming, it's almost the ultimate keyboard for this price range. The wrist rest is really comfortable. I love the dedicated audio buttons and the USB pass-through. If it wasn't for those, I probably would have never bought this. So I think it's the great all-around gaming and just regular usage keyboard that you can buy that's RGB capable. And I think the only thing that I would upgrade to from this keyboard is to get the platinum version, which has a little bit of an extra LED running across the top of the keyboard. So that's the only thing that I think I would go to, and I don't even want to do that. That's just, if I was to had to upgrade, that's probably what I would go for. So if you enjoyed the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below if you got any questions or anything like that, and I will get back to you. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to. I'd love to have you here, and maybe the more subscriptions I get to these type of tech videos, the more it'll push me to make more of them, because I like making this stuff and I look forward to making another one for you. Hope everybody has a great day, and I'll see you. Bye.